Hey guys, welcome back to Play on Footy. What a great round two. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe this video, but let's get straight into it. With Thursday night's game, Carlton versus Hawks. Wow, what an absolute ripper this was. Um, I think with the biggest story being Charlie Curnow, not really sort of rocking up, so to speak. Um, Probably not his fault entirely, but maybe the Carlton, medical staff were a little bit too eager to get him back in, and Michael Voss sort of took the punt on him. But let's have a look at what actually happened in terms of player stats. So yeah, John Newcomb had a pretty big game. 32 disposals, 16 kicks, 16 handballs, 5 marks, 11 tackles. Was just huge. 384 meters gained as well. George Hewitt, now that there's no Matt Kennedy, really stood up with 1 goal, 1 behind, 28 disposals, 14 kicks, 14 handballs. And yeah, it was 405 meters gained with 81% time on ground. Tom De Koning, of course, yeah, he's just doing really well this year in the ruck. Obviously, there's no Pitnet, which probably is a good thing. But yeah, for him to do so well, yeah, is great to see. For Carlton anyway, despite obviously them not winning as of yet. Adam Chera, of course, another 100 AFL fantasy, 1 goal as well to him. And then Sam Walsh, yeah, for his price tag has been a little bit hit and miss, but I think the role that they're trying to get him to play is a little bit more sort of inside. He's more of an outside sort of get the ball collectively and dispose of it out of the centre efficiently. And his kicking's let him down so far this season, unfortunately. And I know he had that hamstring thing problem throughout the preseason, but that's really sort of coming back to bite him a little bit, I think. For Hawthorn, apart from John Newcomb, you had Massimo D'Ambrosio and Carl Amon, who really led from the front. Will Dave got the tag by Hewitt, I believe, went to him. But yeah, overall, it was just a really gutsy win by Hawthorn, who are unbeaten at the moment. So, look, going forward, um, I think the Hawks have, who do they have next round? They have the Giants, and that's in Tasmania. They play really well down there, the Hawks. So, but then so do GWS. They've won a couple down there as well. So, look, if I'm going to be a betting man, I'd probably go the Hawks just because they're unbeaten and GWS are coming off the bye, and sometimes teams off the bye can be a little bit sluggish. So, um, or it could be to their advantage. They could be coming off really fresh, ready to go. So, it's a hard one to judge. Friday night's game, Bulldogs versus Collingwood. The umpires really did well in this one. Really dubious free kicks or throughout the night. Nick Dacos was the biggest winner though. Not from the whistle, but just the way he collated the ball. 39 disposals, 543 meters gained is just elite. Tom Liberatore, 109 AFL fantasy, with 34 disposals. With there's no Trelaw, no Bontempelli, so he's really been the front runner there for the Dogs. Excuse me, and Lockie Schultz as well. Had a pretty all right night for him. 2 goals, 17 disposals. Really led from the front, and yeah, they won by 6 points. So yeah, look, that couple of goals to him really probably made the difference in the end. Tim English, 101 AFL fantasy. Sam Darcy, 100 AFL fantasy. So yeah, and Darcy Cameron, 100 AFL fantasy. So it's been, throughout the night, it could have gone either way. It was a match of moments. And, I think if I was going to give my 3 votes, I'd definitely give it to Nick Dacos, 2 to Libba, and I think 1 has to go to Sam Darcy. I know Lockie Schultz had a great game, but Sam Darcy, 4 goals, 2, has to get some votes from me. So I think he's going to be an absolute star this season. He's really going to step into the Jamara Ugle-Hagen's sort of role there, and I think he's really going to take it and make it his own this season. So it's definitely something to watch going forward. And the next game, look, this game was pretty. I didn't watch the whole of it, just the back end of this match. But I must admit, Adelaide Crows are a serious outfit, and I feel really sorry for Zach Merritt. He deserves so much more to get smashed by 61 points in your home deck. You got Dawson, you got Keys, you got Crouch and Saligo, then you got Rochelle and Thilthorpe and Alex Neil Bullen, Rory Laird. I mean, they've got some great names in there. Taylor Walker's still hanging around, and I think he kicked goal, did he? Yeah, goal, 1 goal, one. So yeah, look, overall, they just monstered them. And Nick Martin, normally really good, not only in AFL fantasy, but in terms of possessions, only 20 disposals, 1 goal, one. Really sort of come underdone, I believe, this season. Riley Thilthorpe, he's a monster of a man. Man Mountain, 3 goals, one to him, and Josh Shelley, 4 goals, two. I mean, go figure. So I think, apart from Zach Merritt leading from the front and Jai Caldwell, as they normally do, yeah, they just absolutely tore them apart there. So yeah, look, it's really concerning for the Bombers and exciting times for the Crows. I mean, Jordan Dawson, what an absolute athlete he is. 33 disposals, 775 meters gained is something special. And I think the Adelaide Crows, they're going to be definitely top in the top 8 this season. But how far they go into September is really up to them. And I think so far so good. I mean, I think from my personal sort of take and assessment on things, Jake Saligo has been a big improver. He's 22 years old, and for him to kick 2 goals, 27 disposals, I think he's done really well there. And I think he's been, pivotal for them at times, as well as Ben Keys up forward, along with Riley Thilthorpe. Of course, Rankin got subbed out tactically, and I think that's what really helped Ben Keys in this game. Otherwise, I think Rankin would have been right up there. He was on 70, yeah, down here. So yeah, pretty phenomenal stuff. The next game was Port Adelaide and Richmond. I'll run through this one pretty quickly. This one was not much really to look at in terms of, it wasn't much of a spectacle. It was just an absolute demolition by Port Adelaide. 145, Connor Rosie, 122, Jace Burgoyne, Kane Farrell, 114, Logan Evans, 108. I think Kane Farrell definitely has that role from Dan Houston. Jace Burgoyne and him were pivotal in this game, I thought. And for, Travis Boak to play in his 393rd game for the club and overtake, I can't remember his first name, but Ebert from the Port Adelaide Football Club is pretty amazing. So I think hats off to him. Sam Powpepper kicking a freakish goal on the boundary was amazing. Goal of the year contender, definitely. But yeah, overall, they just monstered the Tigers. Jaden Shaw, 85, and Camden McIntosh, 88. But yeah, overall, I think Toby Nankervis, what did he get? He got a 69, and Tim Taranto just got 70. I mean, you got to be better than that. Sam Layla, probably their shining light, 62, their rookie, number one pick, just gets it done day in, day out. For a first year player is pretty remarkable. And Jake Lukosius was the injured sub for the game. Next game, this one was a great game to watch. St Kilda versus Geelong. Yeah, really fantastic game. Let's just get into this match report. AFL Fantasy. Jack McRae, 153. Wow, the Dogs really probably missed him. And if the Dogs had Jack McRae, they probably would have won against Collingwood because he's just a collator. He just collects the footy. 87% time on ground as well. Rowan Marshall, Roma, back to his best, perhaps. I mean, looked really sore in the previous game against who did they play? I think it was Adelaide. But yeah, he's come out on his own and did really well in this game. Mason Wood, 121. Jack Steele, 114. Jack Sinclair, 114. Marcus Windhager, 113. Nasai Wanganeen Miller, 101. And then for the top scorers for Geelong was Tom Atkins, 98. Ted Cloesi, 91. And then you got Lawson Humphreys, 87. Mark Blitzarves, 84. Tyson Stengel, 80. Mitch Nevitt, 80. So yeah, fantastic to see there, and yeah, hopefully Tom Stewart can come back quickly. If you do have him in your side, I mean, really bad scenes there, probably a PCL injury from what they reckon. Jack Bowers was out of whack. He last round he got close to the 80s, 90s, so he really fell off there. Max Hall 51 didn't really do much there, as you could see. But yeah, I think Geelong did really well considering the circumstances around Tom Stewart, and for Saints to hold on like they did for 7-point win is fantastic. Brisbane Lions, Eagles. Eagles did really well considering last week. I think they bounced back tremendously well, and I think a lot of that was moving the magnets. So they had Baker in the middle, in the guts of the middle there. And then they had also a change of ruckman. They didn't have Matt Flynn. They had Bailey Williams. Unfortunately, Bailey Williams cramped really badly in the end of the third, I think it was. And so then young Archer Reed had to come on, and yeah, it went downhill pretty quickly from there. Unfortunately, we started losing, centre bounces and clearances and all that sort of stuff. And then Brisbane just sort of ran it out a little bit in really humid, trying conditions when Brisbane unveiled their 2024 Premiership flag at the Gabba. Dane Zorko, 126, Jared Berry, 118, Lockie Neal, 117, Josh Dunkley, 111. I think it was really great to see that Tim Kelly really bounced back this game, 29 disposals and a behind. Not a bad effort from him, considering there are a lot of speculation around him and things he said previously about not loving football. Liam Baker playing in the middle definitely is what we need, and with Jack Graham yet to come back, we'll see what happens there going forward. Tyrell Dua was amazing. 2 goals, 20 disposals. I thought his role off halfback and playing that sweeper role on the wing a little bit was fantastic, and I think that's really great signs for the future. And this man here, Liam Ryan, 3 goals, one could have been four. Definitely had a great run and was building momentum for us going forward. Ryan Marrick taking most of the kickouts was a pleasing thing to see as an Eagles fan, and Brady Hoff at times as well as Jeremy McGovern. Overall, I think it was a great win by Brisbane, who had a bit of a scare there. This game, Melbourne Demons just got monstered, and quite frankly, Gawn went missing. Cherry won that battle. Cade Chandler, 117 AFL fantasy. Clayton Oliver, 114. Caleb Daniel, 114. Paul Curtis, 110. And Harry Shears, 102. Tom Powell, 98. Christian Salem's been up there the last couple of weeks, is hovering around that 90 mark to 100 mark. Jack Bowie, 93, and Tristan Sherry, 90. So, yeah, and then you can see here Zerha, Colbin, Simpkin, Scott, Xavier Lindsay. He's a must-have rookie, done 80 as well. Jack Darling in his round game kicked 2 goals. Great to see from next Eagle. And Andrew Gaff chaired him off, which was good to see. But then, where do we go? Oh, Gorn, 63. So he really had a low game this one. Lost the hitouts as well. But yeah, it was a great win by North, and I think North really needed that win for their confidence going forward. But also under Clarkson this season, they really need to have a good tilt and show some signs of improving. This one was a tight game, Fremantle versus Sydney. It was a match of moments, and they only just lost the Freo Dockers. Chad Warner, 129 AFL fantasy. Luke Jackson, 104. He's done really well there, being the number one ruck, especially when Reedy went out. Luke Jackson was definitely a must have. Was everywhere around the ground as well, and bit of accumulator, kicked a goal, went forward, and definitely gave Grundy a run for his money. Jake Lloyd, 99, Matt Roberts, 95, Josh Tracy, 91, Luke Ryan, 90, Jago O'Meara, 87, Nick Blakey, 86, Caleb Strong, 83, and Jordan Clark, 83, Brody Grundy, 82, Corey Wagner, 81, Dane Rampy, 79. So, yeah, it was a great match by Sydney Swans, and they got the chocolates at the end with the bye of Suns and Giants. But what was your favourite game out of this round two? Leave a comment down below. What would you like to see in the next video? And what was your biggest takeaway of the round? For me, I think my biggest takeaway was that St Kilda definitely won the coaching masterclass there, and Ross Lyon should definitely take the chocolates for that one, I thought. And great signs by West Coast. I think they definitely bounced back from last round. Still a bit of improvement to move the magnets around, but overall, I think they're heading in the right direction. They're learning. They're a young group. They'll get better over time. And the third thing, unfortunately, for Justin Longmire, it sets up Derby next week between Freo and West Coast. Will be a do or die clash to see who gets the first win of the season 2025. It's going to put a lot of pressure on him and both teams, but I'm looking forward to it for next round in round three. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.